Hi, everybody, and welcome into a Wednesday edition of Gold and Blue Now. I'm Chip Fontanazza. Well, it's Capital Classic Day for West Virginia and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Both teams will play their final non-conference game of the season, and Marshall comes in with a very good record of 13-4 overall, and they are in first place in Conference USA with a 4-0 record. The Herd is coming in off of a big home victory against Central Florida, and they are ranked third in the nation, rebounding nearly 43 per game. They also had some pretty big wins this season, defeating Cincinnati in overtime, and they lost to number one Syracuse, but only by 6 points, so they played the number one team in the nation fairly tough. The Herd has three players who average 10 points or more, and they are led by sophomore guard DeAndre Kane, who is averaging just under 16 points per game. He did very well against West Virginia in last year's upset victory. And junior forward Dennis Tinnen is a force underneath the basket, averaging nearly 11 rebounds per game. And the rebounding is actually what concerns WVU head coach Bob Huggins the most. He says that the Marshall Thundering Herd is the best rebounding team they've faced all season.
They're probably the best that we've seen to this point. They get there all the time. You know, it's kind of what I say to our guys all the time. If you get there, you're going to get some. You know, if you don't ever get there, you're probably not going to get any. And they get there all the time. And Tim's got great bounce. I mean, he's got great bounce. He's got great second bounce, and Goff's got a big body and great hands.
In more basketball news for West Virginia, Kevin Jones has been named to the John Wooden Award midseason top 25 list. He is one of 4 players from the Big East Conference to be named to the list, and he leads the conference in points per game with over 20 and rebounds per game with over 11. So Kevin Jones is doing fantastic for the Mountaineers so far this season. Moving from the court to the gridiron, the Mountaineer football team picks up another commitment, make it number 29 in the class of 2012. It's a running back, Torrey Clayton, from the state of Florida. He becomes the third running back in the 2012 class. He joins Rashard Burney and J.T. Washington as the only other backs in the class. He's a 3-star recruit by Scout.com, and he hails from Southdale High School. He had offers from Cincinnati, Illinois, Memphis, UAB, and Central Florida. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Gold and Blue Now. Don't forget, we will have complete post-game coverage of tonight's Capital Classic in the capital city of Charleston. For this edition of Gold and Blue Now, I'm Chip Fontanazza.